Hello everyone. Good afternoon. Am I audible? Okay. So we'll start now. Let us just. Hello. Hello. Okay. So we'll start right now. Okay. So all of you are listening. So it's good. So we'll start. There was some little bit of connection issues today. So that's why we couldn't late.
Good evening, sir.
Okay. Okay. So can anyone tell me what did we cover in the previous class?
हेलो सर
हाँ आलोक बोलो.
सर नेक्स्ट क्लास कभर ହେଇଥିଲା ଆମର ନେକ୍ସଟ କ୍ଲାस फाउंडेशन ଚାଲିଥିଲା फाउंडेशन ର ଆମର ଏନଫୋର୍ସମେଣ୍ଟ ବାଇଣ୍ଡିଂ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ କ୍ଲିୟର.
So we'll move further after the foundation reinforcement binding. Okay, so we'll just share my screen and then we'll towards.
Sir, shuttering is started now.
Shuttering is started, no?
Yes, sir.
We'll move towards shuttering, and you have also submitted your task regarding the plan. So we'll also discuss about the next your task and what to do with the plan. We'll also discuss about that. So let's start. So basically, we had told that we would discuss today how to calculate the quantity of reinforcement in your shuttering. So as you can see here, let's see. Okay, suppose this is your shuttering material. This is your shuttering. Okay, it's a bit. Okay, so we have here, this is our footing and this is the reinforcement for your footing, and as you can see here, this is the shuttering material. So the shuttering is applied. So in today's class, we will just find out how to calculate the reinforcement in this footing, and also we'll find out how to calculate the quantity of shuttering material. So first off, before calculating the quantity of reinforcement and quantity of shuttering material, we need to know the unit in which the both is measured. So basically the reinforcement we can measure in two types, like we can measure in reinforcement in kilograms or tons, that is by weight, and also by pieces, that is one piece, as we discussed in the previous class, that one piece of reinforcement equals to 12 meter. It comes in the form of bent coil. So we can find out how many pieces of reinforcement are used here, and or you can also find out the kilograms. So today we'll find out the pieces by pieces of reinforcement used in this particular footing, and we'll also find out the shuttering material, and the shuttering material unit which is used is meter square. Shuttering material is calculated in square meter, that is length into breadth, so it will be, this material will come in square meter. And as you can see, this shuttering material is supporting this shuttering material, some pattas or props are used. So we'll calculate this, and we'll also explain the basic concepts behind this. So to move forward, let us just give me a moment. I'll just open any of your structural drawing, and then we'll just draw a footing, and then we'll calculate the shuttering material. So we had, and after that also we had many plans in our you had submitted the plans of your house, and we'll tell you how to what to do with that. So after covering this, we'll move forward. Please don't.
सबमिटेड कर दीजिए.
क्या बोले?
सर ऑलरेडी व्हाट्सएप में सबमिटेड कर दिया हूँ।
हाँ हाँ सबमिट कर दिए, उसका क्या करना है हम आज क्लास में बताएंगे. So basically it's taking some time to open. Okay, let's just, if we can just okay, let's say this is your footing, and the size of this footing, let's say the size of this footing is 1100 into 1100. So this is the size of your footing, suppose, and the reinforcement used in this footing. So the reinforcement used in this footing is, okay, is it open? Has it opened? If it's open, then just a moment. Is the screen visible right now? Hello?
Yes sir.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Just give me a moment. Okay, so as you can see here, okay, so this is your footing. This is a footing size. As you can see here, this is the size of footing, and this is a typical plan of footing, and the footing size is 1050 into 1050, and the reinforcement used in this footing is 10 mm reinforcements, which are used at a spacing of 175 center to center along both the x-axis as well as the y-axis. So along both the axes, the 10 mm reinforcement are used at the spacing of 175 center to center. And as you can see here also, this is your section of your footing. And as we had told you, it will come in the further activities. First, we'll have a sand filling of 100 mm, and after that we'll have a PCC, that is plain cement concrete, of 75 mm, and after that we'll have the footing. So this is what is done in case of the footing. And now we'll calculate the number of reinforcements used in this particular footing. So let's just start. So this is 1050 into 1050. So we'll just draw it here and then calculate. So basically, let's just draw this particular size. So the size of the footing is 1050 into 1050. You can just check it. And this one is also 1050. So we have some chat. Is anyone asking anything? Minimize it. Yes, sir. Okay. If the screen is not properly visible at any point, please let me know. So this is the size of the footing. So its size is 1050 into 1050, and inside it we have what we have. We have 10 mm bars which are placed at a spacing of 175 center to center. So let us just now calculate the number of bars which will be given. So suppose first let us explode this. We'll just explode this so that this rectangle is in different parts. So suppose this is the 10 mm bar, and this is to be placed at a spacing of 175 center to center. So we'll take an offset of 175, and then we'll just place the reinforcements. So this is the last one. So as you can see, this is how many reinforcements are coming along this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So 7 number of 10 mm reinforcements are coming. And on this side also, if we just use an offset of 175 center to center, so along this side also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 number of 10 mm reinforcements are coming. So what is the total number of reinforcements? 10 mm reinforcement, 7 plus 7, 14. Okay. Okay, so are you guys getting this, or is it clear to which up to the part we have discussed till now? Okay, we have one thumbs up. Yes, no, please tell. If it is no, then we can repeat.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, it's yes. Okay, so you guys are understanding. So we'll just proceed further. Please keep on letting me know if there is anything. We can just explain it again. So there is we've done the a number of reinforcements using the spacings given in the structural drawing. So we have it here. So now let us go for the calculations. So to go for the calculations, let me just take text. I'll take a multi-line text here. Next class I have to just shut down my system before because it's slow. So this takes time to take and the height is too much. Let me just 100 will be enough for me. Okay. So number of your 10 mm bar, what do you have, the numbers we have here, equals to 14. So 14 number of 10 mm bars we have in here. So these are the number of 10 mm bars which you have here, and now we'll find the length of this 10 mm bars. So total length of this bar we'll find out. So total length of 10 mm bar equals to, now number of 10 mm bars equals to 14. So total length will be 14 into, so let us find out what is the length here. So for determining the length, as you can see, this will go in the entire length. So this is basically in this footing, the size is 1050. So we'll just calculate this length here. We'll open our calculator. So the calculator is open. Now the calculator is open. First of all, we'll determine the length of one particular piece of reinforcement. So it's 1050 minus, so what is this distance? This is the cover. So we had told you the difference between effective cover and your clear cover and your effective cover. So basically, if it is, we'd already discussed, but basically it's not clear, please note it down that clear cover is the distance between the end of the reinforcement to the end of the member, and effective cover is the distance between the center of the reinforcement to the end of the member. In easy terms, in easy definition, you can just take into note that clear distance between these two, that is the end of the reinforcement to the end of the member, is called the clear cover, and the distance between the center of this reinforcement to the end of the member is called effective cover. So the clear cover used here is given in this structural diagram. For footings, it is 75 mm. So 75 mm is left along this side and 75 mm is left along this side. So the total length of one particular piece of reinforcement will be 1050 minus 75 minus 75. So that is 150. So this will be the total length of the reinforcement which is used here. Now if we go to our this particular view, that is the sectional view, we can see that the reinforcement will be like this, placed like this. You can also see in the picture also on the side, as you can see, if we can zoom in, you can see the reinforcements are put like this in the L shape. So we have to take into account this L shape as well, how much the length. So this L shape is 150. It will go upwards by 150 mm. So we have to add that. So we'll just add this 150. Please don't draw on the screen. If you press the edit button, you might by mistake sometimes draw on the screen. Please don't do that. It will really disturb others. So this is your this was your 900, and please, whoever has done this, please erase this, or else I have to. Okay, thanks. So this is 900, and after that we'll just add this 150 and 150, which is total 300. So total 300 will add. So this is the total length of one particular reinforcement. How did we calculate this? We just calculated this using this particular length, which is the total length of the footing minus the clear cover of the two sides, and then we took into account the length which will go in the L shape. So this total length we are getting is 1200, which we got. So this 1200 length we can just use it here in our calculations, which is 14 into 1200. Then 1200 is in mm. So if we calculate in meters, we can do it by 1200. It is in meters, and if we calculate in 1200 is in mm. This is in mm. You can just also calculate in meters. Convert in meters, we have here 1.2.
1.2.
So how much is this coming? 14 into 1.2. How much is this coming? This much is coming, no? 16.8. What will be the unit? It will be meters. So 16.8 meters is the total length of your 10 mm bar, which will be used in this footing. So as you can see, this calculation is very easy. Just you have to need the right, must have the right approach, and after that you can just calculate it. So total length of 10 mm bar we got. So number of, if you want to construct this footing, how many 10 mm bars you need to procure or you need to buy? Number of 10 mm bars equals to your, what is the total length of one particular reinforcement we had discussed. I'm just telling it 12 mm. Good. I'm just telling it again and again because I want your permanent memory. So this 12 meter, and it will be, what is it coming?
Sir, 1.4.
It's 1.4. 1.4. So this is the number of 10 mm bars in one footing. In one footing, the number of 10 mm bars is equals to 1.4 numbers. So in one footing it is 1.4 numbers. So if we just go back and see what is the section of this footing, this is the footing type F2. So we have three types of footing, and F1, F2, F1, F2 and F3. So if we go to this footing, number of F2 footings we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have 4 numbers of F2 footing. So now we can just calculate the total number of 10 mm bars in all the footings of mark F2. We have here equals to 4 into 1.4 is equals to, how much is it?
5.6.
5.6. Let's say we have to buy 6 number of 10 mm bars for the 4 footings of mark F1. F2, sorry. So we have to buy 6 number of bars for the 4 footings of F2. Similarly, you can calculate for F3 and F1 as well. So this calculation is very simple. Okay. So did you guys get it? We want a yes or no, and then we'll proceed further.
Yes, sir.
Others, we have some 19 participants today. Okay, yes. Okay. Please keep letting me know, because, okay, so I think this concept has been grabbed by everyone. Now you can, whenever you go to a site, you can tell like, okay, I can tell the number of footings in this reinforcement, so the number of rods which will be used in this reinforcement. You can tell confidently. So one thing you have achieved today. So moving forward, now you have calculated the number of 10 mm bars. Now let us move forward and calculate your quantity of shuttering material. So the quantity of shuttering material is measured in square meters. So we'll measure that. It is also very simple. Now we will calculate the quantity of shuttering material for this footing only. quantity of ring. Explain the concept behind this. It's very simple. Okay, so it will be simply the area of this particular wooden or plywood. So this is plywood shuttering material, and in the shuttering material, it will also, when you will cover the shuttering material part, will also tell you that it is best material which is used for shuttering is steel. If you use steel, then it is the best one. But in some cases, when you have a low budget, then we can use the plywood. But in no cases we should use the wooden planks, because this wooden planks absorb water. So those things you need to check at the side, if whether the shuttering material of footing are connected properly, and good quality plywood or your steel shuttering material is used. So these things you need to check. So now if we have this footing size of 1050 into 1050, so these two here, it will also be applied. So these two shuttering materials have the same length as the footings, but you can see along two sides we have to go for a larger length. This is almost 3 inches more from the size of the footing along both sides, along this side also, this side also, this side and this side. Along four sides, that is both the sides, we have this 3 inches or 75 mm extra. So this is provided so that this particular footing can fit into. Otherwise, it is provided some extra so that we can fit. If it is like that, you cannot fit. So it is like that. Some portion is extra so that it can be fitted. So for two sides of the footing, you have to take 75 mm extra, and the other we can just calculate. So if we show you now the quantity of shuttering material used for two sides, it will be the same. So it will be 10 in square meter. I told you 1050. This is the length. And what is the depth of the footing? From this, I'll go to this figure and tell you. So what is the depth of the footing which you see here? Can anyone tell me?
300. 300 plus. Yes, sir, 300.
300, because 75 mm there will be no shuttering material. Na PCC there is no shuttering material required. So it will be, the depth of the shuttering material will be 300. So this much shuttering material will be used along how many sides? Two sides. Okay, two sides. And for the remaining two sides, it will be, the depth will be the same, but how much will be the length? Length will be 75 mm more along both the sides. That is 75 mm along this side and 75 mm more extra along this side. So total 75 into 2, that is 150. So we'll just add 10. In just do this calculation, 1050. For understanding, I'm just giving you 75 into your 2 into 300. Depth is the same, and into 2. So what is the total you found? What is the result? How much is it coming? Come on, how much is it coming? This unit will be mm square, as we have taken everything in mm. Do you have calculator with you? Okay, we have some chat. Let us. So it's coming 13. Chandan is telling it's coming 135. Just copy this 135. 4 zeros. So it's 1. Let's type it here. 1, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's coming this much. Everyone has the same answer. Okay, so 135 and then 40. So we have
Yes.
like
135. Just agree. 40.
40. So this much mm² is the quantity of shuttering material which will be used, and this is in mm². Okay, got the answer. As this answer will be in mm², and if we calculate it, convert it into meter square, it will be your the 3 zeros here and 3 zeros from here, that is 1.1 meter square. So
Square.
will be the quantity of shuttering material used in one footing of mark F2. So now we had this seen how to calculate the quantity of your shuttering material in footing. So now when you next go at a site, you have the structural drawings with you. You can calculate the quantity of reinforcement and as well as the quantity of shuttering material. So is this concept clear? Yes, no? Type yes or no in the chat box. So if it is no for anyone, please don't hesitate to tell, because you're here to learn and I am there to repeat. Okay. So everyone has, let's see the chat. Okay, so everyone has got the point. So we can move further. We move forward, and today, since everyone has got this concept, we'll just discuss about your plan in the next class. After giving you a task, let us just move forward with this presentation. Just two concepts we had already discussed. So in the construction steps, we were, so we'll keep, so to keep the class interesting, we'll take some of these extra topics also, and in the between we'll also show you the construction activities. But by the end of this section, you should also remember all the construction steps. So let us just view all the construction steps further. So we had discussed about the site visit. What are the points which you need to observe at the site visit? Layouting part we had completed. And what was the difference between topographical survey and layout survey, and why the layout is done? That is to mark the position of your footings. In the foundation, we had discussed how the excavation or the drilling is done for the pile foundation. We had discussed about this tripod and also this auger. This part was completed.
Yes, sir.
We had also discussed about the bentonite and the drills and the cage. So these things we had done. And we had also discussed about the sand filling part, why sand filling is preferred, or sand is preferred for backfilling material over soil. This much we had done. PCC, plain cement concrete, we had discussed that is, it is used below foundation and below your plain beams, or in this case, there will be also, it will be also used below your grade beam. And the reinforcement binding also we had discussed, I think. And in the reinforcement binding, we had shown you the structural drawings of the footing and some points which you need to consider, take into account at the site. That is, you should check whether the cover is given properly. You should check whether reinforcement binding is done properly and as per the structural drawings or not. And now, after you have calculated the quantity of reinforcement, you can just calculate the quantity of reinforcement in any footings after seeing the drawing. So next comes the shuttering of the footing. You had already calculated the shuttering material used in the footing. And now then moving on to your concreting of the footing. So this is a video which is taken as a site for the pile cap before your concreting. So let us just check it out. So as you can see here, this is the pile cap, and we have the 4 piles. This we had also already told, and this is the starter bars of these columns. This is one pile, this is another pile. Like that, we have 4 piles along the 4 corners. This is another one, and this is another one. So you can also check the reinforcement grades from here and the spacing between these two reinforcements. These basic things you can check, and after that only you can go for your concreting. And the column is also connected to the footing, as we had told and discussed in the previous class, with the help of this particular starter bars. So the column reinforcements also you should check before your concreting works. So all the reinforcement binding works should be checked properly, whether the cover is maintained properly and whether the reinforcement is given as per the structural drawings or not. So after your the visit of your structural engineer or the site supervisor, then only the casting or the concreting works is done. So regarding the concreting works, as you can see, this concreting works is completed. And while this concreting work is done, its care should be taken that you use the needle vibrator. Use the needle vibrator for the concreting purpose, so that it can be vibrated, it can be compacted properly, and no wires are left in between. So if you want to know what is the needle vibrator, we'll show you the image of our site. Don't worry about that. So we have some chats. Let's listen. Okay. So this was our construction steps, and then after foundation we have our grade beam. The spelling is incorrect. It will be GRADE. So basically the grade beam, as you can see here, this is the grade beam which is connects your two pile caps together, and this is basically the level at which the basement will be given. So this is the basement level, and after that we'll have the ground floor slab, and then two more slabs above it. So at the basement level, this basic casting was done, and as you can see, this is the grade beam. And I'll just input one video in the group which we had uploaded yesterday. It was about grade beam. What was the reinforcement used in the grade beam, and why the grade beam is given. To give a basic idea of why the grade beam is given, the grade beam acts as a tie between two particular columns. It acts as a tie. It acts as a connection, so that it can prevent the two particular footings from your lateral forces. So it ties the two particular footings together. This is the purpose of the grade beam. And reinforcements already we had shown you of the grade beam. And then we have your lift. So this was the reinforcement of the lift portion, and the drawings which we'll see. We'll just share the drawings and see the drawings with you. Before that, this much part we have covered on the project, and we'll move on to your task which we had given you. So we'll pause it for here. Please remember how much portion we had covered. We had covered up to the grade beam, and further we'll discuss in the next class. And now we'll discuss an interesting concept with all of you guys. So let's start. So let us just check our, we have some, okay. We had some submissions, and among them we'll just pick one plan, and then we'll just calculate the grade beams. Are the grade beams are the same as plain beams? No, grade beams are not the same as plain beams. Grade beams are provided at the top of the foundation level, top of the footing level, and plain beams are provided at the level at which your ground floor starts. So basically different, as we had shown in the picture also. It was in this picture, it was the position. It was at the position at which the basement was done. I'll show you. Where is it? Not in this one. So this is the level at which the basement was done. As you can see in this picture, this building, this basement level, the grade beam was done. And if the grade beam was not provided in this building, if directly that is D+1, no basement, building with no basement, then we would provide the plain beams at the first ground floor level, floor level, not the ground floor slab level, the ground floor level, we should provide the plain beam. So it's different from the plain beam, and the grade beam is different. So let's see if the WhatsApp has opened. So now let us just pick one of your plans, and then we can just see. We'll discuss some concepts about planning. So before the purpose of giving this task was, yeah, let us see one of the plans. Sagnik, Yatin. Okay, just pick this one. Manisha Pradhan. So here it is. Okay, this is the house, and these are all the dimensions. So basically, as you can see in this plan, what are the components of this plan? Bedroom, two number of bedrooms, and one children's room. So that is basically a 2 BHK, 2 BHK, or you can say it is a 3 BHK, because children's room there will also be bedroom there. So it is basically a 3 BHK plan, and we have a staircase here, and also we have portico. So the entrance might be towards this, and we can keep your four-wheelers or parking in this portico portion. And then we have the kitchen in this portion, children's room, puja room, and another entrance we have at this portion, and the toilet. So this is the hall cum dining. So these are the components which are in this particular plan. Column positions are also given, which is good. Okay. So now basically what we need to observe, what we need to know while making any plan is that we need to have a basic idea of the components of your building. So now the next task of all of you, is to, like, as you can see, the bedroom size is 11 feet 8 inches into 13 feet, 12 feet 1 inches into 13 feet. So these two bedroom sizes we got. Let us just check another plan. What is the bedroom size here? So this room size is 5 into 4. So it's probably in meters. So if we convert it into 3.28 feet, it is 16 into, it is approximately 16 feet 3 inches into 13. So 16 into 13, this bedroom size. Let us just check the different bedroom sizes we have obtained here. Master bedroom, it is based, I think the unit is feet here. So it's 12 feet 3 inches into 14 feet 6 inches, 12 into 14. So these are the plan sizes. And another last, let us check, it is 4 meter into 5 meter. 4 meter into 5 meter is 13 into 16. 13 into 16. So these are the various bedroom sizes which we have. Now, if we were to have one particular, if you were to determine the particular components, sir, in footing reinforcement is required both at top and bottom, 7 plus 7, 7 at top, 7 plus 7 at 14 at bottom. No, it is not correct. It depends on your structural drawing. The structural drawing which you had, which we had shown you, the calculated structural reinforcements which we did, as you can see here, the footing is only at your bottom. It's not always at the top and bottom both. It depends on your structural drawing. As you can also see in the pictures of your site, you can see it is only at the bottom. So it's not at the top. So it's always, no, it's not necessary that it is at the top and the bottom. And in the case of this pile cap, which we had shown you in this reinforcement was both at the top and the bottom. We'll also show you the structural drawings here, and then we'll just clear it out. This is a good doubt and nice observation which you had. So if you have such observations, and you can become a successful civil engineer. It's a good question. सब जगह पे same logic नहीं लगता, मतलब all in all footings you don't have the same type of reinforcement. You have different reinforcement, depends on the structural design of the particular footing. Anyway, question. So let's just check out the structural drawing of the reinforcement of the site which is shown you. Here we have the columns. Okay, here. Now, the question asked was by your Chandan. So, Chandan, as you can just check out this reinforcement detailing of your pile cap. As you can see here, the reinforcements, this is the bottom reinforcement which is given, that is 16T at the rate 6 inch center to center. Now we just to observe this elevation drawing, as you can see here, this is also given, that is 12 mm reinforcement at the rate 4 inch center to center. And at the top, as you can see here, at the top also some reinforcement is given, which is your 16T at the rate 10 mm center to center. So in this, the calculations will be different. For if we want to calculate the quantity of reinforcement in this particular footing, we need to calculate for the both the top and the bottom, because it's given in the structural drawing. So you don't need to worry. Anything, all the details will be given in your structural drawing. So if you were to calculate this particular reinforcement for this particular footing, we need to just take into account this length, and we'll add this particular length as well. And we'll just, the concept is the same. We just need to use that concept to calculate. And this one also, this one is 3 number of 12 mm bars at the rate 4 inch center to center. This one also will be calculated using the same concept. The concept is the same. And as we had seen in this structural drawing in which we had calculated, in this, it was for a residential building, less loads, the structural design. As per the structural design, the reinforcement reinforcement was only at the bottom. The top is not required. So it's different for different buildings, as it depends on the structural design. So another question we have here. Generally, generally why we go for wiring then rather than welding? It's about the technology. It's about the technology. Can share one story with you. You have asked your question, so can share your another story with you. Like for the bricks, if you have ever done for the structural design, if you go into the bricks, you have some advanced materials or new materials. It's not new. It is, I think, double AC blocks, which is autoclave aerated concrete blocks. Have you heard about double AC blocks? Has anyone heard about double AC blocks? Yeah. So what do you know about it? Can you tell? Unmute your mic and speak. Is your speaker working? Or you can also type. Okay. Okay, so basically the double AC block is a type of masonry material which is an advanced form of, I can just show you images, that is, I just search it and show you. So these are the double AC blocks. It has some advantage that, like, it is lightweight. It is the the mortar applied used here is less, and it also keeps the room cool. So there are various advantages, but people tend to go for your red bricks, even though it is little bit, even though it utilizes the top layer of the soil. So it is banned in certain some, the manufacture of red bricks is banned in certain states, but even people go for this because people think that red bricks compressive strength is more and it will give more strength. So it's not like that in frame structure. Yeah.
सर डबल एसी ब्लॉक गुड़ा का जो मैंने फ्लाई ब्लॉक से आता हूँ.
No, fly ash brick is different and double AC block is different. So it is like this, that whenever some new technology comes, people generally don't adopt it. If we go for welding, then we can save our prices. And there is another thing, if we go for couplers, then it will save more cost than welding. The lap length for the couplers is 0. That is 2. Or if we have a coupler here and we'll just tie this coupler and with another bar, then the lap length will be 0. In commercial projects, we can save a lot of cost. So that's it. If we use welding, then cost will be saved compared to the the binding or normal lapping, normal splicing. But we don't use generally. There is no valid reason for that. So I think already we are out of our time. We have our next class scheduled, so we'll postpone what we're discussing in the next class. So in the next class, we'll just discuss our some important aspects of planning, and one another interesting topic we'll discuss, and also we'll continue further on this particular our summer internship program, the default summer internship program of your this particular construction steps of your P plus D plus 4 building. And now 2-3 minutes I can give for questions. We have some chats. Yeah, so Sonali ma'am, that's good. That's good. So we have sir WSC block brick is very low in price and very durable type brick and lightweight brick. I have cooling material. Yes, this is, it keeps your house cool, and as compared to other bricks, it saves more brick because it has bigger size. Yes, this is good. And also you can research about couplers. Question which your Subhendu asked. Subhendu, you can please search for couplers, but couplers in reinforcement binding. So if you search that, you can find that for couplers, there is no lap length which need to provide. It can be joined like this. If you reinforcement is joined like this, if you just use a coupler. So for this also construction cost can be saved. So these are the things which we had discussed, some interesting conversations we had. So that was all for today. See you in the next class. So in the next class, we'll just start in time. We had a little bit delay in starting this class. Apologize for that. There was some problem. So in the next class, we'll start on time and we'll discuss about planning first, and then we'll just move and continue this. So bye.